Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Before we jump into the price action, just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Okay, so we've had a pretty good move up here last night, but we're still pretty much in a danger zone because we haven't even taken this high point here. So I'm still being a little bit cautious of this. This could also, we need to decide what we think this is, because we do seem to have five-wave structure here, but is this a flat? And if it is a flat, basically what that would mean is that we potentially are going to have more continuation to the downside. So the option that we were primarily looking at yesterday was the fact that we were looking for a bigger five-wave structure here. And I'm still keeping an eye on this one because basically it's the closest one that we can look for as a potential to actually play out if we do look for this, because invalidation would come by basically crossing this 21.351 and really losing this lower support zone of the 786 would be an early indication that this is not actually playing out. So for the most part, we can argue that potentially we're looking at this as a completed wave two, and that is valid for as long as we hold this 2272 zone. And what we'd be looking for within this structure here currently is basically to see whether we get a retracement to the downside here and whether it finds support. So the key support area, if we're looking at this in isolation here, I would argue that this is completed into this high, but there is always the possibility we could set one more high up here. But it's important that if we count this basically from this low point as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, that effectively, like what we'd be looking for here is a three-wave move to the downside. So this support zone here is going to be key. This 23,000 to this 22,844. That'll be a key zone for us to hold if we're looking for this bullish potential. So the 50% is actually here on this 23,000 zone. So that could be an interesting retest and potentially could mean coming back and retesting this channel line here, which is currently sitting at about 23,000 as or directly below. So if we do get a move into this and we do find support, then potentially we could look to see some upside play out here. But like I said, we've got to be careful that this is not a flat correction. If it's a flat correction, what that means is we're going to take this low. And we're going to actually look for that continuation down. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this move and see whether the secondary support area holds. So this is looking for a bullish push off of the current low here. So this 22,844 will be quite a key area. Once we start to break through this, it becomes less likely that this is going to be playing out. But effectively, invalidation only really comes by crossing this 22,722. So if we do move below this, this would invalidate this potential move here. And what I'm currently looking for is if this is going to play out as a five-wave structure, we'd want to come down back into this retracement area. So I've taken this off the 618 just because it would be a retest of some of the support zone down here. The golden pocket is currently sitting at this 22,938 to this 22,918. So, if we do continue to move down here, this will be a zone I'm actually looking for that potential to find support. If we do find support in here, a move up towards this 23,833 would indicate that we have a five-wave structure here. You would also take out some of these key points looking at that bearish alternative for a five-wave move to actually develop here, where we were talking about it yesterday, where we could have a series of ones and twos in here, and basically we just look to extend down like this. So we just need to be a little bit careful of what this move is. If this is if this is a flat, we can look at it in two ways. We could still look to potentially move down and find support one more time here, possibly towards this 22,127 area over here. That would be a likely target, but we're going to go over that in a second. So this is just on the bullish perspective. If we do see a move up towards this 23,886, what I'd then be looking for is that potential to find support again here in this zone of what is this? This 23,658 to this 23,407 area. If we find support within there, then we'd be looking for this continuation to the upside. So even once we get this move to the upside here, we'd be then looking for to see how this reacts. If we come back down in three waves, then we can argue that potentially this could then become a 1 and a 2, and then we could look for this as a bigger structure here. But we'd also need to be a little bit careful, that this is not just an A wave here, we get a B wave up here, and then we actually look to break down one more time. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this move to the upside here and how we react around some key areas. So within that, if we were arguing that potentially we have completed an A wave here into this low, some key areas of resistance could be this 50% here, which would be this 23,956, pretty much all the way up to this 24,687. So really, if we're looking at this as a B wave correction, and I'm just going to remove this off the count here for now, where we're looking at this basically as an A into this low, looking at a B, and then looking for the C. Technically speaking, this B wave can actually come and take this high point again. So we'll have to keep an eye out how exactly this forms. If we do get a 5-wave move like this to the upside, we'd have to see if we get a retracement and then this move only comes towards that 1-to-1 and fails to become an impulse. If it does so, then effectively what we could be looking at is just a bigger corrective structure, like I said, where we have this as an A wave to the downside, a B wave, and then we have a C wave like this. So we need to just be a little bit cautious. If we fail to break, if we do get rejection lower down here, then it could just be a move like this, where we're actually looking to potentially come back down towards this zone of this 20,757 to this 17,104 at the lower end. So these are all still possibilities, but really until we actually take out this 21,351, we do still have that potential to push to the upside. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these internals and see how we react around these key levels that we've talked about. So looking at that potential for looking for a breakdown, there's a couple of ways that we can look at it. So the corrective way would be looking for this Y wave to be completed. So we can argue that effectively we could say that it has completed into this low here. But we just got to be a bit careful. Like I said, because the structure could be a flat here, it could be that we have some extension within this, where actually we're still within this Y wave, and what we have in between here is basically this is an A wave. Uh, yeah, this is an A wave into here, over there, looking for a B wave and then looking for that C wave to the downside. So if this is the case, an interesting area would also be this previous trend support that we lost here. If we do move back up into the zone of this 23,751, what we could be looking for is basically this B wave to play out like this. Alternatively, this B wave could just be this flat in here. And if we do now take this low, we could then be looking rather towards this lower range here. And if I throw this fib onto this, um, what we'd be looking for would be the possibility to actually move down towards this 1-to-1, which would be this 21,618 if we are looking at this as an ABC from this current point. If this does move up slightly, obviously this would adjust this target zone. And we can see that if we came up to this channel line, it would bring us more towards the 786 zone. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. If it does start to break down, then this has to be treated as a C wave, and then we'll be looking for that continuation down. Sorry, as a B wave, and then we'll have to look for that continuation to the downside. Like I said, off the current zone, it would be this 21,635. However, if we do move up, potentially that could move that target area. So these are some things that we need to be aware of here. We can, like I said, also argue that potentially we can look at this completed into here. And then, we're looking for a bigger B wave here, looking to come back up and retest some of those zones that we talked about earlier in the video. So that's looking at that potential for having this as a corrective move. Really, this 5-wave move here means nothing until we get a confirmation of support and then start to move away. Really, until we break this X-wave high here, this could just be still continuation of this move where we just look at this, like I said, as an ABC, or potentially this whole move here as a WXY, and then we look at this to start to move to the upside here for another connector wave and then break down one more time. So that's what we got to be a little bit careful with. I am still looking at that possibility of a 5-wave move developing, but at the moment, we would have to argue that if we were going to look at it like this, we're talking about the potential that we could have some nascent moves in here where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this becomes a 1, 2, 3. We'd have to treat it potentially as a short fifth wave here, as a triangle, and then a fifth wave here. and then this is a flat. So, if we do continue to break down here, this option could then become alive, where we look at these. This would be a diagonal as a 1-2. This would be 1-2 again, and then basically we would have this additional 1-2 here. So the key area to take off of this would be this 21,966. If we do move down towards this zone here, what we'd be looking out for is whether we get another three-wave move potentially back up into this area here of consolidation, and then look for another five-wave structure to develop to the downside. That would be sort of a confirmation that this is more likely. If we do, however, come back down into the zone, even as a W, X, and a Y like this, or an ABC rather, then we could still look for this move to come back up. But the key difference would be that we'd be looking for this move to actually take this wave one here at this 23,574. And if we do that, then it would invalidate this fourth and fifth wave that we have marked on the chart. So it's sort of in an area that we need to just give it some space. This can develop bullishly, like I said, but really, even if we do form something like this, that is still could still just be part of the correction, and then actually we look to break down for that C wave afterwards. So it just needs a bit of space. We're going to have to see how we react. Obviously, there's always the possibility that this could start to extend within itself, where we could argue that this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 up into here, and then potentially we get this as a flat here. So we can move these waves around a little bit. I do prefer it completing here, but we'll have to see how it plays out exactly. If we do get a move like this, like I said, we'll be looking for that 1-2. There is also a possibility we could just have a really short wave here, and this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We come back for a 2, and then it starts to move off. So it'll be key to see how it reacts out. Ideally, we want that deeper correction here, because we haven't really met the requirement, and normally that means that it hasn't completed. So we'll have to see. If we do get that B wave retracement, then we can look for that bullish potential. But we also need to, like I said, just be careful of this whole structure here. If we lose this low, we'll have to treat it as a flat, and then we'll be looking for those targets that we talked about lower down. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. And why not leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. In the description below, you'll also find affiliate links for both PrimeXBT and BYBIT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. Check them out. If you don't have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one.